And as we all know, the arts and the funding for the arts has been cut dramatically in the last decade. And so kids don't get the benefit that I grew up with, of having a thriving arts program in my public school. And that's really where the musicianship has been most critical. Their impact, however, could be told by telling the life story of its founder, Jeffery Tribble. He was a kid from the South Side who grew up in a great home, but was not immune to the challenges that youth of color face in Chicago. He was not that great of a student, so he shared with me, but music gave him a pathway to college that brought him to Howard University, where he matured into a good student, and then he went on to law school at GW. But the musicianship is not just about using music to open doors. It's also about how music helps develop character. It takes discipline to practice, and confidence and courage to get on the stage and perform. Music gave Jeff all of these things, but it also made him a great leader. He uses the lessons he learned as the drumline section leader every day. He knows how to make teams work successfully. He manages people in a way that helps them shine and reach their goals. And most importantly, Jeff is a true visionary. He not only sees possibilities when others might not, but he also turns those into opportunities for the musicianship and for the youth that he is so dedicated to. Please join me in congratulating Jeff on the musicianship.
So the third statistic that escaped both of us in our haste was that we have a 100% college acceptance rate. So very First, I'd like to publicly acknowledge the hard work of the capacity building specialists and the entire Fair Chance staff. Can we give them another round of applause? Next, I'd like to publicly thank my fiance, one, for saying yes, and two, for bearing with my passion for servant leadership. I think she knows at this point that she's in for a hell of a ride, so if you see her later on this evening, please console her and wish her well. It's been a challenge. It's been quite a challenge as we've approached our wedding here, but it's a special time. It's a time when life as we know it will never be the same. We're changing in new and unprecedented ways. And while we take on heightened levels of stress at times, we've gotten to a point when we've experienced growth in some key areas. Some of you thought I was talking about my fiance and I'm actually talking about puberty. It's a special time. It's a time when life as we know it will never be the same. We're changing in new and unprecedented ways, and while we might take on heightened levels of stress, you've gotten to a point you've experienced growth in key areas. Don't get into the last one too much there. But the musicianship is going through puberty. We applied for a Fair Chance partnership in 2010, and I believe again in 2011. Rejection is nothing new to me. In fact, it quite resembles my youth years. But we, 5 years later, slipped them another crush note and said, "Do you like me? Yes, no, or maybe?" And it actually came back maybe. I mean, they invited us in for an interview, so literally it's maybe, if we do well enough in the interview. So, thankfully, they did finally say yes, and we became a member of the 2016-2017 cohort. I tell Anjali this all the time, but I'm so thankful for her, as well as Fair Chance, generally, of course, but particularly at this time as we are going through puberty. We got the largest grant we'd ever received for $150,000. Our program ballooned from 200 to 600, and we developed a cool partnership with Hard Rock Cafe and are exploring distance learning initiatives. But during that same time, as we took on more programs, more students, more staff, we didn't get a substantial grant we thought we'd get, which we'd previously gotten at a 100% success rate, had our major first cash flow challenge, and had our first ever layoff. And all of a sudden, we're in the mirror looking at ourselves with pimples and unsightly hairs in weird, unmentionable places, and we leave the house emotionally battered and bruised, and we go to school, and we have this really cool teacher in Fair Chance who's seen lots of different organizations come through with lots of different challenges and lots of different passions and lots of different goals. And they were able to really help us, navigate the choppy waters that we found ourselves in. During our time, we focused on human resources, fundraising, evaluation, as well as board development. And while I don't have all the time to talk about all the knowledge that Anjali inculcated, she was definitely the deodorant for our newly emerged body odor, and she was the razor for our armpit hair. But no, they helped us to navigate, again, the choppy waters of organizational adolescence, and really guided us towards nonprofit best practices and overall organizational sustainability. She empowered and equipped us to face the world and uncovered the fact that many of our peers experience many of the same challenges. It's like dropping your paper in front of 100 people. And as much as we wanted to be a Fair Chance partner 6 years ago, we weren't quite ready. We hadn't learned enough, we hadn't had our training wheels off, we weren't mature enough, so this was the perfect time with the perfect group of people to really help build our capacity in our organization. And as this partnership draws to its end, we're tremendously thankful to the Fair Chance family, and we're supremely more confident in our own ability to maintain our programmatic and operational capacity. And as my executive director peers and I endeavor to work with more and more youth across the District of Columbia, I'd like to encourage you all to institutionalize all of the different things that we learned, because it's a special time. It's a time when life as we know it will never be the same. You're changing in new and unprecedented ways. And while we take on heightened levels of stress, because of Fair Chance, you've gotten to a point when you've experienced some growth in key areas. Thank you.